Hello folks, welcome to the canal channel Jose. Today we're going to show you how to replace the stick shift boot, dust boot. So these boots, sometimes they ripped or they so old that they start tearing, and then you start seeing some dust coming out from the bottom, or you just don't want it to be with those rips. So today we're going to show you how to replace it on a 91 to a 94 Toyota Tercel, and for that you need the correct boot so it fits on the shifter or the console. And for that we're going to show you the procedures. All you need is a Phillips screwdriver, because we're going to show you how to set it correctly. And with that, so we're going to get this for a 91 to a 94 Toyota Tercel. So here's the dust cover for my Tercel, and this is the tears that he has. One here, this big one right on top, and there's one on the side here. And so if anything falls in here, it's gonna probably bounce into this place, and then it's gonna go down to the car. So I don't want that to happen. So we're gonna be replacing this boot with this newer one from a 91 to a 94 Tercel. So this one is in way better shape than what I got right now. So I treated this with leather treatment. So to take this boot out, you're gonna have to remove the shifter knob off, and that spins just like a nut would. And sometimes you're gonna have trouble taking it off from the beginning because it's gonna be so tight. But once you start getting it, it's gonna come off. So to make this procedure easier, what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be taking this plastic piece off. This is extra. You don't need to, but I'm doing it because I don't want to tear the new one when I'm putting it on. So for us to take this plastic from here to the back, what I'm gonna be doing, we're gonna have to remove this Phillips screw from the driver's side and the passenger side. So now we have pulled the two screws from the back and two screws from the front, and we got the seats pulled forward, so we can pull this plastic off and start pulling it off. Okay folks, so we got the seats pulled back, and then we pulled the plastic off while the seats were forward, because the white part on the back wouldn't fit through the seat. So that's why we pull them to the front and then pull the plastic off, and then you pull your handle all the way back so it stands more, so you can slide the plastic from the handle off. And then you got your seat belt that you can slide off through the opening on this side, the other passenger side. So now we're gonna show you why we did this, and it's extra work, but it's gonna save you from tearing the new boot. So now to take this boot off, this is all it is a square wire on the bottom, which is this is a square wire going around, and there it is. That's where it ends right here. It's overlapping each other. So all it is a square wire with a piece of leather or rag. So the reason we're doing this is that we can stick our hand below, because we're going to be pulling down to release it from some places. And what we don't want to do is, when we're pulling the new one, if you're pulling up to secure it, you don't want to be pulling and then ripping the leather, or because they're pretty old. Unless you get a brand new one made, then you can probably pull. But for this, that's why we want to get our hands below this, so we can start pushing instead of pulling and not tearing it. So to take it off, we're going to push down. So once you get it loose and off the frame from below, you want to work it through the opening and get it off. and that's why we get the shift knob off, so we can put the new one in on the small opening. And that's the reason we remove the shift knob, so we can slide the new boot or the newer boot in. So then we work it into it. Okay folks, so to put it on, all you're doing is that you're just getting the square to follow the shape, and as you're doing that, you're working. There's some tabs. There it is. It falls pretty easy. Doesn't require much effort. It's just that we don't want to pull it from the top only and then tear the boot off. So all you're doing is that you just kind of shape it to where it is, and then by pulling slowly but pushing more from the bottom, you're arranging the shape of the spring or the wire to fall into high points of the plastic that hold it on place. And once you do that, you got it in place. As you can see, it is in place. But that's why we tell you to remove the plastic from the middle console, to get the hand underneath, so you can push from underneath and kind of pull from the top. You don't want to just pull from the top, because you might tear the leather or the cloth, because you want to be able to feel the high points on the bottom too. And it's hard to show you, but it's just what it does. Those high points, they just keep the square spring, the wire, and they fall into keeping it just square. And once you do that, it stays in place. So now we gotta do is just put the shift knob on and then start putting the middle piece in. Now that we have put the shifter boot and the shift knob on, and we got this set ready to go, we put the plastic back on the middle console. And to do that, we're gonna get the seatbelt going through it, and then slide it through the e-brake, and then start bolting it down with the 4 screws that were held down. What we have to do is that we put the seatbelt through the opening that it used to be through, so that has to go through there. Put it through the e-brake. Now we have to line it up, so we gotta line it up and then put the screws back in, the 2 in the back, 2 in the front. Well folks, we replaced the shifter dust boot from this Toyota Tercel. We put another one. It's not a new one, it's a used, but from a newer, it looks newer, but we replaced it, and look at the shape we had on our dust boot. So we put newer one, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save this frame and gonna have another one be made. I'm gonna put new cloth into this frame so I can have it in case this goes bad again, because this is an older one. This is from the 90s, so in case this happens again to that, I already gonna have another ready to go. So this is just for the meantime. It's better shape, way better than what I had. So that's how to replace a dust boot on a 91 to a 94 Toyota Tercel. And well folks, this was the procedure on how to replace a dust boot on a stick shift 91-94 Toyota Tercel. And hopefully this video was useful and find some info useful towards your new project. And we'll see you soon with more videos here en el canal y Chano Jose.